A man walked into a Hyundai dealership in suburban Chicago last month, ready to buy a 2026 Tucson Limited. He had done his research. He wanted leather seats, the panoramic sunroof, the Bose sound system, the heated and ventilated front seats, and the heads-up display. The salesperson smiled, congratulated him on his choice, and started preparing the paperwork. The out-the-door price came to $44,000. He left without buying it. 2 weeks later, he came back. He bought a different Tucson, with the same leather seats, the same advanced safety features, the same upgraded interior, the same 12.3-inch displays, and almost everything else he wanted. The out-the-door price this time, $37,000, $7,000 less, for 90% of the same vehicle. How did he do it? He used a trick that almost no Hyundai buyer knows about, a trick that the dealer will never volunteer, a trick that depends on understanding one specific trim that Hyundai quietly added to the Tucson lineup, that almost nobody talks about online. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which trim to buy, why the Limited is genuinely overpriced, how to get nearly all the same features for thousands less, and why the dealer will fight you on this because it costs them commission. Stay until the end because there is one specific feature only the Limited has that might still be worth the upgrade for certain buyers, and you need to know if you are one of them. Let me explain how Hyundai's trim structure actually works. The 2026 Tucson comes in 5 gas trim levels: SEL, SEL Premium, XRT, and Limited. Most buying guides only mention 3 of these: the SEE, the SEL, and the Limited. They skip over the SEL Premium and the XRT entirely, or they group them together as middle trims that do not matter. This is the first place where buyers get confused, and it is exactly what Hyundai's pricing strategy is designed to do. Here are the actual prices straight from Hyundai's website. The base SE starts at $30,800. The SEL jumps to $32,400. The XRT sits at $34,825. The SEL Premium lands at $35,150. And the top Limited finishes at $38,625 for front-wheel drive, climbing past $40,000 once you add all-wheel drive and any options. So between the SEL at $32,400 and the Limited at $38,600, there is a $6,200 gap, and inside that gap sits the SEL Premium, a trim that includes most of the features people specifically buy the Limited for, at a price thousands of dollars lower. Let me show you exactly what I mean. The big question every Tucson buyer asks is, what does the Limited actually give me that the SEL does not? The standard answer from dealers is leather seats, panoramic sunroof, Bose audio, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, heads-up display, surround view monitor, 19-inch wheels, bi-LED projector headlights. Sounds impressive. Sounds like $7,000 worth of upgrades. But here is what dealers rarely tell you. The SEL Premium includes most of those features. Synthetic leather seating, often called leatherette, that looks and feels nearly identical to real leather to most people. A 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, the same one in the Limited. Forward attention warning. Highway driving assist 1. Smart cruise control 2 with navigation and curve control. That is a long list of luxury and convenience features, all for $35,150, about $3,500 less than the Limited. But here is where it gets interesting, because the SEL Premium does not just give you most of what the Limited offers. It gives you specific safety and comfort features that some shoppers actually value more than the Limited's luxury items. Think about what you actually use every day. The advanced cruise control with curve control, useful on every highway drive. The Hyundai Digital Key 2 Premium, useful every single single time you walk to your car. The 64-color ambient lighting, useful every night drive. The forward attention warning, useful for safety. Now compare that to what the Limited adds. Real leather seats instead of leatherette. A panoramic sunroof you may open 3 times a year. Ventilated seats that feel great in summer but you forget about most of the year. A heads-up display that some drivers love and others find distracting. Bose audio that sounds slightly better than the standard system, but only an audiophile will notice the difference. Are those features worth $3,500 extra to you? For some buyers, yes. For most buyers, honestly, no. But here is where the math gets even better, because comparing the Limited to the SEL Premium is only one part of the trick. Now let me show you the bigger savings. The hidden trim comparison that almost nobody runs. If you compare the Tucson Hybrid SEL Convenience to the Tucson Hybrid Limited, the gap explodes. The SEL Convenience Hybrid is approximately $36,250. The Limited Hybrid is approximately $49,900. That is a $13,650 difference. $13,650 for features that most owners admit they barely use after the first year. The SEL Convenience Hybrid comes with the 12.3-inch digital cluster, synthetic leather upholstery, interior ambient lighting, and wireless smartphone charging. It includes everything the regular SEL Hybrid offers, plus enough premium touches to feel upscale. And you save almost $14,000 over the Limited Hybrid. That $14,000 is enough to pay for 6 years of fuel, every oil change for the next 10 years, a complete set of new tires twice, a fully paid family vacation, or just $13,650 in your pocket earning interest, instead of being financed at 7% over 6 years. So why does Hyundai sell the Limited at all if the SEL Premium and SEL Convenience are clearly better values? Because of one psychological trick that car manufacturers have used for decades. It is called anchoring. When you walk into a dealership, the salesperson shows you the Limited first. They want you to see leather seats, panoramic sunroof, fully loaded everything. The price tag of $40,000 becomes your mental anchor. Then they walk you down to the SEL Premium at $35,000. Suddenly, that $35,000 sounds like a deal. You feel like you are saving $5,000 compared to the Limited. What you do not realize is that the truly best value is the regular SEL at $32,400, or even the SEL Premium at $35,000. The Limited was never the right purchase to begin with. It was just the anchor that made everything else look reasonable. The dealer wants you to buy the Limited because the profit margin is highest on the top trim. The dealer wants you to buy the SEL Premium because it still has higher margins than the SEL. The dealer absolutely does not want you to buy the base SEL at $32,400 because that is genuinely the best value in the lineup and the lowest commission. So now let me give you the actual recommendation. The smartest Tucson trim to buy based on real value, not on what the dealer pushes. For most buyers, the SEL is the answer. $32,400. You get blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, 18-inch wheels, dual zone climate control, heated front seats, 8-way power driver seat, hands-free power liftgate, wireless smartphone charging, and the 12.3-inch infotainment screen. That is genuinely all most people need. Adding the Premium, the XRT, or the Limited is paying for features you may use occasionally but do not need daily. If you specifically want the upgraded safety tech, the digital cluster, the synthetic leather, and the digital key features, then the SEL Premium at $35,150 is the better trim than the Limited. You save approximately $3,500 over the Limited and you give up almost nothing that matters in daily driving. Here is the only situation where the Limited is actually worth it. If you genuinely want all of these features at the same time, real leather, panoramic sunroof, Bose premium audio, ventilated seats, heated rear seats, heads-up display, and surround view monitor. If you will use all of them regularly, and you have the budget, the Limited delivers a luxury experience that competes with vehicles costing $15,000 more from BMW or Audi. But if you can give up just one or two of those features, you save thousands of dollars. The math is that simple. So how do you actually use this information at the dealership? Here is the exact strategy. Step 1. Walk in already knowing you want the SEL or SEL Premium. Do not let them show you the Limited first. If they try, politely say you have already decided you want to compare the SEL and SEL Premium, and you do not need to look at the Limited. Step 2. Email 3 to 5 Hyundai dealers within 50 miles. Ask each one for their best out-the-door price on the exact SEL Premium with the color and options you want. You will be shocked at the price variation. Some dealers will quote you $37,000. Others will quote $34,000 for the same vehicle. Step 3. When you visit the dealer, never discuss your monthly payment budget. Negotiate only on the total out-the-door price. Salespeople use monthly payments to hide the loan term length and total interest. A $37,000 SEL financed over 72 months at 7% costs you $45,500 in total. The same car at the same monthly payment over 48 months costs you $41,200. The monthly payment looks the same. The actual cost is $4,300 different. Step 4. If the dealer insists on showing you the Limited or trying to push you up to it, ask them this exact question. What specific features in the Limited justify the additional $3,500 over the SEL Premium? Make them list each feature. Then ask yourself, honestly, which of those features will I actually use weekly? Step 5. Visit the dealer at the end of the month. Sales teams have monthly quotas. On the 28th, 29th, or 30th, salespeople are willing to cut deals to hit their numbers. The same SEL Premium that cost you $37,000 on the 15th might cost you $34,500 on the 29th. Simply because the dealer needs the sale. So let me give you the bottom line. If you walked into a dealership today ready to buy a Tucson Limited at $40,000, you would walk out with leather seats, a panoramic sunroof, and a $450 monthly payment. You would feel good for about a month. Then the novelty would wear off. If instead you walked into the same dealership and bought the SEL Premium at $35,000, you would walk out with synthetic leather, almost the same technology, the same advanced safety features, and a monthly payment around $370. You would feel just as good. And you would have an extra $5,000 in your pocket for everything else life throws at you. If you bought the regular SEL at $32,400, you would save another $3,000. You would still drive a comfortable, well-equipped, modern compact SUV, and you would have $8,000 in your pocket compared to the Limited buyer. That $8,000 is the trick. It is not a coupon. It is not a hidden discount. It is not a promo code. It is just refusing to let the dealer convince you that you need features you will rarely use. If this saved you thousands of dollars, share it with anyone you know who is shopping for a Tucson. The dealer is not going to mention any of this. They will smile and walk you straight to the Limited. Now you know better. Subscribe for more Hyundai buying guides, dealer tricks exposed, and money-saving tips every single week. And if you have not seen my video on the dealer add-ons that you should always decline at the Hyundai dealership, watch it right here. Those alone can save you another $2,000 before you even sign.